Hey, my name's Matt Hart. I'm with Results Branding. Thanks so much for watching this video. Just wanted to record something kind of quick, something kind of simple, answer a bunch of questions that you might have about who we are and what we do, and kind of prepare you for the next call. I found that a lot of people, a lot of pool builders like to kind of review this information and kind of get it in their heads before we end up talking. So hopefully this video is informative and answers all the questions that you have and allows you to come into our next call prepared with the questions that you actually want answered. Probably save you some time. I know you're busy. I know your schedule is probably a little bit crazy. So who we are and what do we do? We're results branding, and ultimately, at the end of the day, we're pool builders helping pool builders. Without going into too much crazy detail, we ran a gunite pool company in Dallas, Fort Worth from 2010 to 2019. We grew it from $1 million in sales to about $35 million in sales. We were an 8-time top 50 builder. We won the customer service award and first and second place back-to-back years from Pool and Spa News. So the reason we say that is just to let you know, we know where you're coming from. We have gotten our boots muddy just like you. We felt the pain, the joy, the long nights, the long weekends. We know your pain, we know your challenges, and we also know the excitement and how awesome the pool industry is just in general. So, what do we do exactly? We help pool builders grow profitably. Profitably, probably being the most important thing. So, if you think about it, how do you grow profitably? And ultimately, anytime someone clicks on one of our ads or clicks on one of our links or wants to talk to us, they're always looking to grow in some way, right? So, what does it really take to grow? What does it take to grow profitably? Well, it's not. Luckily, we're just building pools, right? This is not rock. It's literally not rocket science. We're just building pools. So, the first thing that we have to do is we have to get in front of more quality sales opportunities. Okay. The second thing we need to do is we need to actually close those opportunities. We need to turn the sales opportunities into contracts. We need to make sure that those sold contracts are profitable and buildable, right? And then finally, we have to improve our infrastructure so that we can accommodate the new growth or the new size of the company. So, how does results branding do that? Well, we do it in a couple of different ways. We call these our 4 pillars. And effectively, there's a handful of different things that we do for pool builders. We used to do way more, actually. So, I'm pretty glad we've trimmed this down to the things that we feel move the needle the most. And I just want to let you know that you don't have to use all of these things. We have some clients who just kind of a la carte this here, that there, based off of their needs. And then, of course, we do have some clients who take advantage of all of our offerings. So as you go through this, if you're just interested in one thing, all good. Feel free to skip the stuff you're not interested in, but you might want to listen anyways, just in case it could help your business. So the first pillar of success, I suppose, that we work on with our clients is maximizing revenue. We both know cash is king, right? When you have money coming in, when you know where your next 10 digs are coming from, you feel pretty good, right? You can make decisions about the strategy for your business and the direction for your business with confidence. When you don't know where your next 10 digs are coming from, that's when things get scary. That's when things get shaky. That's when it's a lot harder to move your business in the direction you want, right? So to maximize revenue, we really need 2 things. Okay, number one, we need quality sales opportunities, and number two, we need the ability to actually sell and close those sales opportunities. So here's how we help with that. First thing is our guaranteed appointment program. It's very likely that you clicked on an ad specifically related to this. So I always like to say we're not your typical marketing company. We really don't even consider ourselves a marketing company at all. But back when we started Results Branding, we were effectively doing coaching for a bunch of our friends who had started pool companies, and they kept asking us for help with marketing. And eventually we caved and said, yeah, let's figure something out. And when we put this program together, we thought, if we were going to do this, how would we want it to be set up for us if we were still building pools? Because I remember back when we were building pools, I hated our marketing company. It's not that they were bad people, but they cost an arm and a leg. They sent us a list of names and numbers and emails, basically, and then I had to pay receptionists a ton of money to actually call those numbers, or I had to deal with it myself. Half the numbers are bad. A certain percentage of them never answer the phone. And what was really crazy is that marketing company had like a monthly retainer, basically, just to do their jobs. And it didn't really matter if they were good at the jobs or not. And as a pool guy, that never made sense to me. It's like, if my steel guy just dumps the steel in the pool and doesn't tie the steel, I'm not paying his invoice, right? Like, how come the marketing guy gets his invoice paid whether or not he does a good job? So when we decided to do this, we said, hey, let's do this in a way that would actually really benefit builders. And kind of the first distinction we wanted to make is like, ultimately, you don't want leads. You don't really care about leads. A lead is just a name and a number. A lead doesn't really necessarily mean anything. What you really want, if you think about it, is you want the end result of a good lead, which is a qualified sales appointment, right? So that's what we do. We don't do leads. We skip all that. We do qualified sales appointments. So just to kind of give you a little bit more explanation, if you became a client of ours, we would do ads for you, beautiful ads, put them out on different platforms. We do all that at our own cost. And then we have the leads that are generated specifically for your company. They come into our CRM. I have a team of receptionists that call them, text them, get them on the line, qualify them, make sure they're good, make sure they're worth the drive. That's what I always focus on. I'm a sales guy at heart. I've ran many sales appointments for new pool construction, and I know how much it sucks if you drive to the middle of nowhere and it's a bad lead or it's just like a waste of your time. It really kills your day. So what we focus on is like, let's make sure that not everyone's a guaranteed winner, but let's make sure it's worth a shot. Let's make sure it's worth the drive, right? As a sales guy, that's kind of the best you can ask for. So we make sure it's worth the drive. We book it, and then your team goes and runs it. That's what you pay for with us. It's really cool. You don't pay a variable amount of dollars for a questionable amount of leads with us. It's very simple. I figure out how much do your appointments cost based off of a couple different factors, and then you tell me how many you want a month, and that's what you pay. Okay, there's no extra fees, there's no crazy onboarding fees, there's no pay us 2% of your contract price or none of that madness. It's really cut and dry. We go get the leads, we pay for them ourselves, we run them through our system, we book them to appointments. As long as you run it, if they show up and it's qualified, then that counts as a qualified appointment. So what do we qualify it based off of? Well, a couple things. We qualify on starting price. We want to make sure the lead is comfortable with whatever your starting price is. We qualify with build timeline, right? We want to make sure they're building this season or maybe beginning of next season, depending on your market and the time of year. We will qualify based off of scope of work. If you're a fiberglass builder and for some reason they call wanting a gunite pool, clearly we're not going to connect the dots for you there. And then finally, we qualify on a location or territory. Sometimes a really good lead might come in, but hey, if it's 4 hours away and it's going to be impossible for you to get to the job site, it probably doesn't make sense for us to book that for you as a sales opportunity. Like I mentioned before, the number of appointments you get or the number of appointments you pay for is the number of appointments you get guaranteed. If we don't get you the number of appointments that you paid for, we either write you a refund check or we keep working for free until we actually hit your number. We book those appointments directly to your team's calendar, so you don't have to deal with any of that. We actually handle everything up until you run the appointment. So if a lead or an appointment wants to reschedule or anything like that, we deal with all that. All you have to do is show up and run the appointment. After the appointment, you get a post-appointment survey texted to you and basically let us know, how did it go? Was it a show? Was it a no-show? Was it qualified? Was it unqualified? And that's effectively how we keep track of the appointments. So it's pretty cut and dry. That's kind of goal number one with maximizing revenue is let's get you and your team in front of more quality prospects, more quality appointments. Okay. But that's not enough, right? It's one thing to get in front of them. It's a whole nother thing to sell them. So the next thing that we do as a part of maximizing revenue is sales and design training. I do this myself personally, not to toot my own horn, but just letting you know my background. I've personally sold well over $15 million worth of new construction. My sales teams have sold well in excess of $160 million of new construction. And I don't say that to impress you. I say that to impress upon you. I am the guy to fix your sales woes if your sales team is underperforming. I've started in this business long before COVID. I saw what COVID did to the business in both positive and negative ways. And unfortunately, it really caused a lot of degrading of sales abilities across the pool industry, because during COVID, you didn't really need to focus on quality selling, quite so much, right? So anyways, I do a lot of work with clients all across the country, improving their sales teams, kind of acting as de facto sales manager. I love this sort of work. It's something that I get a lot of personal pride out of. Great example of someone who just spoke to a little bit before recording this video. Guy named Drew in North Carolina. He was, I think, a lifeguard before he started in the swimming pool business. He started in October. He's been like my little Padawan. I've taught him everything I know. I meet with him weekly. I've actually even visited their office in person to give some additional hands-on training. And he's at probably about 1.4, 1.5 million for the year 2025. We're 5 months into it. The summer hasn't even hit yet, so things are very exciting for him. Anyways, I digress. I love training sales teams and training salespeople. I do it through one-on-one or team Zoom calls. I have a full repository I've built out of training methodologies and scripts and processes. And ultimately, what your team needs, if you're struggling to sell, your team needs a sales process that they can repeat again and again and again, and then we can diagnose any issues that they have. But anyways, that is also just something that we offer as one of our services. So let's move on. If we want a chance to sell them, okay, now we're on to our second pillar. If you want a chance to sell them in the backyard, first you need to sell them online. Okay, you guys who are watching this, you're pool builders, you get this. But during COVID, a lot of questionable actors came onto the scene, and a lot of people got burned, or a lot of homeowners got burned. And so nowadays, it is more important than ever that how you appear online is very dialed in, and you are giving the appearance that you want to give. Okay, they're not going to give you a chance in the backyard until they first scope you and vet you out online. So for our clients who need it, we do a lot of help with creating and optimizing their brand presence. Some people come to us, without even a logo or a fully realized name, which we of course love to help with. Companies in their infancy like that. But we do a lot of work with people on fixing and creating their Google business profile, fixing their Google reviews, making sure their Facebook and their Instagram profiles are set up properly, making sure their website and their landing page is set up properly and is as optimized as much as possible for lead conversion is really what's most important. So again, some of you might be watching this video like, yeah, dude, I got a website. Great. Perfect. This part's not for you anyways. Okay. But if you're someone who's maybe knows that they could be doing better online because you're a pool builder at heart, you're not a big computer guy, totally get that. I definitely get that. We can help you with that part as well. The third pillar is protect your profit. Okay, don't be selling pools for free. Don't be building pools for free. I know that sounds silly, but you would be shocked maybe at how many pool builders I work with and talk to on a regular basis that when I ask them how they price their pools, it's kind of like, they check which way the wind is blowing, and they hope and wish and pray. And, hopefully after the build, the P&L looks good. That's not a really safe way or a good way to scale your business, obviously. So we've built out a tool. It's really incredible. We call it results pricing. It's built, again, by pool builders for pool builders. That's something you'll hear me say a lot. Everything that we do is really comes from the pool builder mindset and how could this best serve builders. But results pricing is a pricing and profit system that's literally been built from over 15 years of hands-on pool building experience. It's fast, it's easy, it's accurate. You can literally price out fully custom projects in about 10 minutes with 95+% accuracy once you get comfortable with it. It includes built-in P&L tracking for real-time margin visibility. It has integrated and auto-generated proposals and contracts, so you don't get mistakes on your paperwork. If they put a 1 for a heater on the data entry page, you end up with a heater on the contract. It really protects you there. And then probably the best part about this is that we update it for you. Okay. You send us all your price sheets. We build it out for you on the front end. And then every single month, just send us any new price sheets that you get. We'll update it as much as you want. We also do monthly profitability meetings with our results pricing clients, just to make sure that, once you actually finish a job, let's go back and look at it and see, where did we make more money than we needed to? Where did we make less money than we needed to? And ideally, we get your pricing more and more and more and more dialed in. Because what this ends up doing really is it really helps your sales team. Okay. When your sales team has pricing confidence, it is much easier for them to sell. It's much easier for them to work deals and get you business when they know what the price, when they know that their prices are real. When one of their homeowners is showing them another bid, if they have that 100% certainty that their prices are dialed in and their price is right, well, that does a lot for their ability to close a deal. Not to mention, when you have a professional proposal, that also looks really good as well. I know that some of you guys out there are hand typing each proposal or not even doing a proposal. Obviously, the appearance of what you give out is super important. But yeah, so that's results pricing. Let's not build pools for free. Let's make sure we're making a healthy margin on our projects that we're building. And part of the way that we do that is through results pricing. So if that's something you're interested in, obviously you can mention it on our next call together. Last pillar is improve infrastructure. I'm going to tell you something you don't want to hear. Maybe if you're a big time builder, been doing this forever, you already know this, but I meet a lot of pool builders who would rather not realize the truth of this, but that is sustained success requires operational excellence. Okay. If you remember several slides ago, there were 4 steps to basically growing profitably. Number 1 was more sales opportunities. Number 2 is close those opportunities into actual business. Number 3 is make sure that the business you closed was profitable. And number 4 is improve the infrastructure to accommodate the new scale. What I see happen very frequently is companies do really well with growing and scaling, at least as far as selling more deals, making sure they're profitable. But you're so focused on either building them or selling them, and there's no focus placed on the operational piece. And what happens is that you can grow and you can push and you can get past your plateau, but you always fall back to the plateau, because what happens is your systems break when you put them under that new stress of that bigger growth or that bigger scale. So that's why the 4th pillar that we work on with our clients is improving infrastructure. Again, it's not for everyone. If you're a brand new pool builder and you're in your first couple of years, you may not have to worry about this quite yet. But if you're a builder who's been at this for a while and you're stuck at a plateau, maybe it's $5 million, maybe it's $10 million, maybe it's $15 million. If you've been stuck at a plateau for a while, it's almost certainly because we need to improve your infrastructure and your processes. So this is a full team thing for results branding. If you are in our improved infrastructure system, you end up working with Shan, our CEO and actual 8-time top 50 builder. You do one-on-one weekly meetings with him where he deep dives your business. And then depending on what you need and what you have going on, he gets the rest of the results branding team to deliver. It's really what it is. So you get complete, if you go into this program, you get complete audits of your sales, construction, back office workflow. We help you implement SOPs. We have checklists, manuals, and tools all ready to put your logo on and push out to your team. Custom forms, custom contracts, custom systems beyond results pricing to help reduce costly errors. We have bottleneck breakthrough sessions for owners who basically, if we're trying to see why can't we scale, what's the issue this week that's holding me back from getting better and improving, we hash those things out. And of course, part of this is ongoing coaching to help actually implement the new infrastructure so that we can get you to that next level of business, whatever that is for you. So just something I wanted to mention on this initial call that I think is just worth mentioning, so it's not a surprise. Because we guarantee our guaranteed appointment deliverable, because we guarantee that, we really look at this as a partnership. Okay. Of course, our clients are our clients, but we really look at them as partners because we're both in this together. Okay. I need partners in this who I can deliver for, because if I can't deliver, I got this guarantee that's going to bankrupt me. Right. So I'm looking for great partners. So there's 3 things that make a good partner. Hopefully this is you if you're watching this video. Okay, the first thing that makes a good partner is the quality and the quantity of your digital assets. Okay, do you have a website? Do you have social media profiles? Do you have Google reviews? Do you have a Google business profile? Do you have pictures and videos of your completed projects? Do those things exist, and how good are they? Okay, if someone comes to me and they don't have a website, they don't have pictures, they've never built a pool, they don't have a Google profile, you can imagine it's very, very hard for me to get a completed appointment to show up because you don't have any sort of presence online. Now, of course, we help clients with this when they are lacking a little bit in this department, but that's part of what makes a good partner. What sort of work have you already put in to your digital presence, and how good is it? Right? And that's something we can talk about on the next call. The second thing that we look for in a good partner is, what does your entry level pricing look like? Really, how competitive are you in your local market? We are really big fans of partners who like to build normal pools for normal people. Okay. That doesn't mean you won't build the Taj Mahal if it falls in your lap. And that doesn't mean you don't like to build a beautiful high end pool. But we also like to work with companies who see the value in selling, a 15 by 30 pool only with one light and a bubbler, a nice, simple, profitable job for the typical family. As we all know, we're all in this business. Pools are not cheap. They never really were, but they're certainly not cheap now. Um, it's really important that we can advertise an entry level starting price that's attractive to the meat of the market. Okay. So if you just, to be fair, if you only want to build high end projects, if you have no interest in building quote unquote normal pools for normal people, we're probably not a good fit, and that's okay. Finally, in a good partner, we're looking for a size of marketing territory. Okay, we need a 30-mile radius minimum from your central location or from your home office. If you think about it, if you only want appointments in one zip code, we're not going to be a very good fit. I can't possibly guarantee you a result if you ask me to fish in an extremely small pond, right? We don't need partners who are looking to serve, the tri-state area. But of course, we do look for partners who are willing to get out there where the business is, and have a comfortable territory for us to be able to go and find them potential homeowners in. So just to kind of wrap up this call, the choice is yours. If you're watching this video, if you got this far, if you booked an appointment, something's missing in your business. That you wish things are a little bit different for the better. And if you're here, it's probably because you're not sure what to do, and that's pretty normal. You can either keep guessing or you can get results. With us, you get leads that actually show up, not just click on ads and never talk to you. With us, you get sales systems that actually scale, not just, questionable scripts and, no actual follow through on the training side. With us, you get profit you can track, not just, fantasy promises. What we really want to do and what we look for in partners is, we really want to build something profitable together. So when you're ready to win, just, we build predictable pipelines, we fix broken processes, we hold your team accountable, and we get you out of the weeds. If you feel like you're drowning, trying to figure this thing out, don't worry. We've been there. We can throw you a life vest. We're not just a marketing company. We fashion ourselves as a growth engine built by pool builders for pool builders who are ready to grow. So hopefully I'll see you on the next call. Please bring any questions that you have. Please let me know what pieces of our program are most interesting to you. Like I mentioned before, you don't need to do this whole thing. You can literally a la carte here and there. We're happy to serve you as long as it makes sense on both sides. So happy selling, build some great pools, and we'll talk to you soon.